Hey, so here's a little overview of my sim rig setup, my motion rig. I'm in the SimRay studio. So the setup tab is where you can kind of verify your hardware. You can change some app settings in here. The nice thing is it tells you uh, which direction is called what. Pitch, heave, roll, sway, yaw, all that. Um, Mine, I don't have the heave up and down. I have the P3, so I don't have the P6, I believe is called, for flight sim, where it goes up and down. You can go into license here, enter license. I don't remember how much it is. It's not terribly expensive. And then the games section, this is where you can select console like I've done. You put in the IP of your PlayStation. I'd recommend it being static, so you don't have to come here and change it and you're like, why doesn't it work? And this just helps keep things consistent. Um, I have this set to manual, and then I just manually double click on this. I tried the auto, I don't know, I couldn't get it to work, so I just go in here and click manual once, double click. GT7, I don't know why it's Grand Turismo, it's drives me nuts, but whatever. When the game is loaded, this will flip to green, this little Wi-Fi icon, once you're at the main screen. And then tuning is where all the fun happens. So they have all these options here. Motion is all I use. And so I have a max angle of 53. And that's really the limit of the side to side motion, left to right. Like I was mentioning on the forums that some cars have really small cockpits, and or some tracks have crazy camber. You'll get that black cage flickering if your head gets out of the window, so to speak, in game. Overall smoothing, I don't know, that's kind of felt good. I have this set down because uh, when you do license tests, the game will reset its telemetry data instantly to the rig, and it sends that data instantly to the sim rig will read that instantly, and it's very jarring sometimes if the track starts out downhill but you pause it or you restart when the motion rig is uphill. It'll kind of snap at you a little bit. It doesn't hurt at all, but it's certainly annoying. uh so I tuned that down a little bit. This does soften the overall effects of uh, the, the the physics in your rig. Um, and then the rest of these is just pitch, roll, yaw I have off, and I'll show that setting later. Lateral G, sway, heave, these are just kind of I don't know. They work best. I mostly do for they work best for road cars. That's usually what I drive. Um, Traction loss here, that's the yaw. It was recommended to use this instead, I think, on the DOF Reality Discord. And smoothing effects, just a little bit of those physics. And then the gear smoothing factor, if you really want to feel each gear shift, you can slide this around. I have it kind of toned down a little bit. Um, some cars it's a lot, some cars it's not. Like muscle cars, this is huge, right? Uh, you feel that certainly in muscle cars. Yeah, so then that's the software setup. And you can save your settings here, but I don't know of a way to restore from the cloud. And you can't just save a like a car setting, or even just like a race car, road car, ultra car, Vision GT. You just can't say. It's like one overall setting for all these. So that kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? And then the rig itself, I'll try not to trip over my pets. So this is the P3. Oh, my cat, of course, made himself comfortable. This is the DOF Reality P3. I'm 6'4". I'm pretty skinny. I'm like 180 pounds. I fit great. I think everybody would be able to fit great, short of being 7 feet. I don't know about that, but 6'8", I would say yes. No problems there. Um, you've got 3 motors down here. Um, so they actuate depending on what the telemetry data is, but these front ones handle the heave and the, what is that, the whatever the side to side one is, I forget, but the forward heave where you're like braking and the car dips down, or you accelerate, the car dips back, and the leaning left and right, those two handle that. And then the yaw, the like traction loss, is this guy back here. That is this motor. Get out of here, dog. So that's this motor here, and this is the nut that I had to have a friend of mine. I used to work with him at Twitter, and he's a welder, and so I just had him weld that right in place. I did have this running with Loctite for a year, and it seemed about every 3 months on occasional use it got a little loose. In my settings, I also reduced the maximum on both ends for this, so it never goes straight out, because that's what puts the most torque pressure on this. So I have it at like 97% of each direction, so that it's a little easier to torque everything back in place and it's less tension on this guy. That's about the only improvement I would say. Is why not just make this thing with that built right in place, just weld it properly. That's, you know, an obvious weak point in my opinion, but it's not a game stopper per se. And then you got your wheels to sway left and right. And on the Reality, I don't know about the sim rig. I didn't really research it too much, but I know with this rig, you have a lot of adjustability. Again, I'm like 6'4", and I could probably extend this out a bit more, but you know, and slide my seat back. But that's kind of how I have things set up. So I race on PC and PS5, so I got a little USB hub that I can just kind of flip the switch between each USB channel here, and you follow this down, and the USB cables meet up with my power cables for the unit. That's these, one for each motor, and one data line for each motor. So I got little extension clips just so I could kind of feed things semi-neatly so I don't trip over them. And so I've got, let's see, this is the cable that I plug into my PC that's running the SRS app that I showed you earlier. So that's where this goes. This always has to be plugged in, just if you want to use the motion rig. If I'm on PC, then that's it. If I'm on PS5, I gotta plug in this cable. This is also in this madness of cables here that I loosely tried to make nicer. That is just connecting to my wheelbase and my pedals. So over the network, and I have everything wired. So my PC with the SRS app is going to detect the telemetry data from GT7 over the network. So that's how the app integrates and connects to the PlayStation, and that's why you need that PlayStation IP address, and that's why I recommend setting it static so it doesn't change on you. Now down here, again, back to other brands and stuff, I don't know how they operate. It must be something similar, I'm gonna guess, because they all have these powerful motors. There's a big control box down here. Sorry if it's too dark to see, but so there's a line for main power here, and then you've got motor 1, 2, and 3, and then USB cables in the back, and the PC cable, the USB cable going to the PC is plugged in back here, and that's what goes right here. So that's kind of a general overview of the setup. I have my TV here, but I really don't use it unless I'm playing COD or something, but usually I just do VR. for GT7. And yeah, so that's kind of what to expect. You do get great adjustability with this rig. I think it's fantastic, really good support here. It does take an entire day to put it together. You just got to dedicate a weekend or a day or something to put it together. I got this seat, it's a GT Omega seat. I just bought it separately, and I have like a little lumbar support, which my cat loves, and then some really cheapo Amazon special straps. I don't really think you need them per se, but you know, if I'm rallying, it's really nice. Then I have to rely on my wrists to support my body while I drive. Yeah, so that's it. Hope that helps.